B1 family, welcome to Black Logic. This evening, we're going to give a breakdown of Haiti and how Haitians have been coming to the U.S. for quite some time now. Around 1804 is when the revolution, or essentially Haitians have eradicated all Frenchmen, all French women, all French children from their country because of colonization and slavery. But before we get into that, family, I truly want to dive into voting very quickly. There's a lot of information about voting altogether that a lot of people are not understanding how the process works. But I won't toy there too long. But for perspective, I would definitely love to present this information to you guys. So Michigan, I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Michigan has come out with some new laws here. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. Now, if you guys, that Michigan made some new laws pertaining to voting and voter protection. So I definitely want to point that out to you guys right here. It states that Michigan has new voting process for 2024. And there's some key things that I just want to point out. They talked about early voting, absentee ballot tracking processes. They went down this whole new legislation of how they're going to allow people to vote, protections for voting, etc. But as you can state here, it says voters, lawmakers last year approved legislation to expand what forms of voter identification are accepted at the polls. Options include a voter's U.S. passport, travel photo identification, military identification, or a student ID in addition to a person's driver license. So there is a federal law stating that only citizens can vote, but that has not proceeded down to the state level. So it states here, and this is for Michigan, guys, voters without identification on their person are still allowed to sign an affidavit confirming their identity to cast their ballot, which a controversial rule opposed by Republicans that was enshrined into Constitution under 2022. Now, I really don't understand how states are allowing this, how certain states, and when I say I don't understand, I understand what they're doing, but I don't understand how the constituents, the people who are voting, are allowing this to happen, where you're having non-citizens to vote on state issues, to vote on local levels, to pass laws, to eradicate legislations. All sorts of things are happening on a state level where certain pockets, let's say Springfield, Ohio, where there's a large Haitian community, where they can essentially change laws just by voting, right? They can essentially have a Haitian American, okay, who is a legalized citizen, vote him into office and literally change the laws of Haiti. They can absolutely do this. So there's a lot to say about voting altogether, because there's many laws that are permitting non-citizens to vote in America, but this is mostly on a state level, which impacts you the most. So a lot of us are looking at Donald Trump. A lot of us are looking at Kamala Harris, and we're saying, what are they going to do for Black folk? Well, nothing's on the table. Nothing's on the table for Black Americans as of yet. That is the current status, family. And when we're looking at the state level, which will impact you the quickest, will impact you the soonest, which will impact you much more quickly than the federal level, we have to be very, very careful. And we're not talking about Haitians changing laws whereas though it's going to be only beneficial for them. We're talking about all other immigrant groups as well. But this is just a sample size. This is just an example of how immigrant groups can come in, whether it be Indians, whether it be Haitians, Hispanics, Caribbeans, Africans, etc., and can literally start their own little quote unquote country, like Little Italy, like Chinatown, okay, like Little Somali, all these different sects of how groups from other country have migrated to America legally and illegally and literally are changing the dynamics of American culture within their own set. It first starts off locally, then it starts to really trickle into statewide. Look at California. If you look at a lot of the government officials in California, they're now Hispanic. So when you look at those things, are there Hispanic Americans or there are Hispanic, meaning are they bringing their culture, their laws, their rules to America and changing the very fabric and dynamics of American culture? Okay, a lot of these things will be superseded. A lot of these things will be overwritten because of illegal immigration. Now, again, I'm not against legal immigration. This is about illegal immigration. And there's a lot to be said here, and we have to get into it. We have to, family. We have to get. Now, according to Pew Research, they're stating that there's over 25 million people in the U.S. who are not citizens. That was 2020. Family, I'm going to tell you right now, that number is astronomically wrong. It's probably 3 or 4 times the amount of people who are illegally in the country, because the way they kind of word this, they just think that people are coming over the southern border. No, there's people who are staying over the expiration of the H-1 visa. There's people who green cards have expired that are still in the country. They're hiding out. They're living with family members. However they're masking their status in America, they're doing it. So it's way more than 25 million people who are in the country illegal. Okay, it states here in 1996 that the U.S. Congress passed a law prohibiting non-citizens from voting in federal elections. This is 1996, family. They had to pass a law to state that non-citizens cannot vote in the federal elections. That's crazy. It goes on to state here that the U.S. For the U.S. House, U.S. Senate, and presidential election, this law does not apply to elections for state and local offices. Okay. Then it states here, voting right laws and constitutional amendments. This is coming from USA.gov. It states that the 15th Amendment gave Black American men the right to vote in 1870, but many weren't able to exercise this right. Some states used literacy tests and other barriers to make it harder to vote. They was not only using literacy tests, they were also using voting tax, because they knew that Black Americans didn't have, the funds to pay these taxes, which then they could not vote. So there's many ways they try to box us out of voting, let alone to this day allowing people who are non-citizens to vote in their state elections. Okay. And we're going to get to the Haitian part, family. Just stay with me. I'm building. The 19th Amendment, ratified in 1920, gave American women the right to vote. The 24th Amendment, ratified in 1964, eliminated poll tax. The tax had been used in some states to keep Black Americans from voting in federal elections. And then the 26th Amendment, ratified in 1971, lowered the voting age for all elections to 18. It states here, generally, only United States citizens can vote in American elections. While federal law does not expressly prohibit non-citizens from voting in state and local elections, very few states allow non-citizens to vote in any election. Okay. Now, I don't know if any of you guys ever combed through Title 52. It's very lengthy. It's very long. I read it. It's a lot of information, but it literally covers from A to Z all the parameters of voting. It talks about voting in its entirety. So I'll just kind of give you, a depiction of how long all of this information is, family. I know you can see me scrolling through a lot of information here. Okay. I don't want to bore you. It's just so much information, but I want to touch on a couple of key points. And we have to come all the way down here. Some of these government sites I cannot highlight, so bear with me. I do know the section I'm looking for. Just bear with me here, but it's a lot of information. So if you guys ever want to really understand voting in its entirety, check out Title 52 subsection 1 and 2. Okay. So let me get down here to the point here. So Emmanuel Odyssey. Give me 1 second, family. All right, protections of paper ballot voting system. They have everything that you can have. Any questions that you may have about voting. Most of the information, if not all, are here. Even voters who vote after the poll closes, they have that information as well. Give me 1 second. We're getting to one particular part. Here we go, right here. Now we're talking about, I think I lost it. Give me 1 second. Did I go past it? Bear with me, family. Bear with me. I try to zoom in for you guys. All right. I think I'm getting close again. I'm so sorry. This is kind of ridiculous. This is a very, very long document. Let me just do this. I'm going to zoom out. Because I want to get to this section, family, that I think is going to be very important for you guys to understand voting on your level, voting on a state level. And I just had it. I went past it, try to zoom it in for you guys, but I lost it again. All right. I think we're getting close here. We're getting close. Give me 1 second. All right. Minimum standard for accuracy of state voter registration records. Okay. It states that a system of file maintenance that makes a reasonable effort to remove restrictions who are ineligible to vote from the official list of eligible voters under such system, consistent with the National Voter Registration Act of '93. Registrants who have not responded to a notice, who have not voted in 2 consecutive general elections for federal office, shall be removed from the official list of eligible voters, except that no registrant may be removed solely by reason of failure to vote. Safeguard to ensure the eligible voters are not removed in error from the official list of eligible voters. So what they're doing, what a lot of these states are doing, as of October 2023, 19 states, including my hometown of DC and Puerto Rico, allow some or all undocumented immigrants to get a driver's license or permit. Remember, we started off with Michigan, and Michigan are allowing people with a driver's license to vote. This is very important. California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Rhode Island, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington. To get a driver's license, applicants may need to provide documentation such as a foreign birth certificate or passport and proof of current residency in the state. Some states like Utah also offer a driver's privilege card that allows undocumented immigrants to drive, get insurance, and access financial services. What does that mean? What does access financial services mean? So in some regards, I'm to believe that they can actually take out loans. They can get extensions of credit. Okay. What other financial services would they mean other than open up a bank account? So a lot of this information is kind of congested, and I'm trying to streamline it for you guys to say this and this one thing. There are illegal immigrants, there are undocumented migrants that are voting in your state elections. And I want you guys to think about Colorado, Springfield, Ohio, Texas, all the border states like New Mexico, Arizona, Michigan. What's the state that Tim Walz is out of? I believe that's Minnesota, I believe. Isn't Tim Walz out of Minnesota? His state is up here as well. He even passed a law. When I did a breakdown on Tim Walz, what I displayed is that he is allowing illegal immigrants to get driver's license, okay, which is very significant. This is how the dynamics of your state, this is how the dynamics of your community, this is how the dynamics of your region and area are being changed by illegal immigration. And unfortunately, a lot of Black Americans, we have been voting Democrat ever since Lyndon B. Johnson stated, let's sign the Civil Rights Act of 63, 64, because Martin Luther King is coming down on us. He is pressuring us. And if we sign this Civil Rights Act, we'll be having them niggas to vote Democrat for the next 200 years. This is what Lyndon B. Johnson said, and it was recorded. This is not conjecture, family. This is fact. Lyndon B. Johnson was recorded stating that. And ever since, it's been about 60 years, and we have continually, over 90% have been voting Democrat. And I'm not telling you guys to go down and vote Republican. I'm just telling you, if an American president who was a Democrat, who signed the Civil Rights Act just for us to continue to vote for one particular party, and it has been working year in and year out, term in and term out, and we have consistently been voting for one particular party, which they have done nothing significantly to change our lives, whether it be on the federal or state level. This particular party is allowing, is encouraging illegal immigration for other groups to come in. And when these other groups come in, they're not dropping them off in Beverly Hills. No. They're not dropping them off in the high-end, high middle class, upper middle class, white neighborhoods. No. They're not dropping them off in Asian neighborhoods. No. They are dropping them right in the heart of Black America. So a lot of the statistics about crime that you read, family, these numbers are not depicted for the illegal immigrants who are committing some of these crimes. They're changing the very fabric and dynamics of American culture, let alone increasing crime, increasing degeneracy amongst Americans. Hey, let's just go with 19 states, because that's what this states right here. 19 states are allowing it. Now let's talk about Haiti, and let's talk about Haitians. And I have no smoke, I have no divisiveness for my Haitian brothers and sisters. But as one of my subscribers said in a post, we're at a crucial junction point for Black Americans. This is a very critical point where we have to tell other groups who have been hanging on to our coattails, who have been riding the coach and leeching off Black Americans for far too long without the reinforcement, without the support that we thought they were going to have. It's time to hold your own nuts. It's time to hold your own nuts. That's where we are, family. This hold your own nut season. But I give respect to my Black warriors stemming from 1804. Because in 1804, the enslaved people of Haiti did something the world has never seen before. They led the only successful slave rebellion in history. Don't get me wrong. Our Foundation of Black Americans have consistently stood up against our slave masters, against oppression, against Jim Crow. But when it's talking about eradicating people from a country, those Haitians in 1804 are the ones who killed, let's just call it as it is, killed everyone that was not Haitian. They killed everyone who was not indigenous to the land. And we have to understand how significant this is, because they toppled one of the most powerful empires of the time, France, because under the leadership of John, and I always butcher these names, family, so please excuse me. I'll just say Dessalines and L'Ouverture, these warriors declared independence, turning Haiti into the first Black republic. The only safe place that we had at the time, because don't forget, family, out of the 50 some odd countries in Africa, over 90% of them were colonized, where they had white governments controlling resources, controlling infrastructure, controlling the government, controlling every aspect of their country. So not even the Africans could eradicate white supremacists from their country, but Haitians did. And they turned Haiti into the first Black republic. So let's not be fooled. France and the Western powers that followed, never forgave Haiti for this. This is why Haiti is in shambles today, family. That's one of the reasons why Haiti is in shambles. And every time it seems as though Haiti has a rider in office, they get assassinated. And I covered this last assassination that occurred back in 2021. There was a lot of talks and rhetoric and information about CIA involvement. Okay, not stating that the CIA did anything there, but they were stating that there was CIA involvement. But we need to understand, family, the Haitian Revolution wasn't just a fight for independence. It was a revolutionary rejection of white supremacy and colonial oppression. France and other Western powers, including this country, including the US, economically punished Haiti for daring to be free. So in 1825, France demanded reparations. France demanded reparations from Haiti, family. They demanded reparations from Haiti in 1825. I want you guys to think about that very quickly. They demanded reparations from Haiti in 1825. And yes, reparations from Haiti for the loss of their property, enslaved Africans. And what was Haiti going to do, family? They already eradicated all of the French men, the French women, and the French children from their country. They went to war. But we're literally talking about 21 years later, France said, we need reparations because we lost a lot of our property. What property are you talking about? You came here and enslaved people. You brought slaves here. Yeah. We lost our property, those enslaved Africans. And guess what the Haitians did? Now, Dessalines and L'Aventure, these warriors disappeared all of a sudden because Haiti started to pay France reparations. And France was still more powerful. France was still richer than Haiti, but Haiti paid reparations to France. Where were the warrior class? Not all of those people just disappeared. It was only 21 years. And this debt crippled Haiti's economy for over a century, setting a foundation for poverty and instability that the country is still trying to recover from today. I want you to imagine that a nation born in freedom was forced into economic change by its former colonizer. The same country that you freed yourself from, you turn around 21 years later and start to pay reparations for the people or the property that they lost. And if we fast forward today, why are Haitians risking their lives to flee their homeland into the US? Why are they doing this? Why are they fleeing their homeland to come to the US, to come to France? And we know, family, the answer lies in the economic instability that's been strangling Haiti for decades. Instability created and maintained by Western powers who colonized it. France and the US have exploited Haiti economically, preventing its growth, sabotaging its infrastructure, and ensuring that it remains in a constant state of crisis. And we have to go there, family. We have to go about the recent US interventions in 94, because under the guise of restoring democracy, the US sent troops to Haiti. I don't know if you guys knew about this. In 94, the US sent troops to Haiti, but what did they restore? They didn't restore the infrastructure. They didn't restore the economy. The Haitian economy remained in ruins, and the political instability continued. Haiti's GDP remains one of the lowest in the Western Hemisphere. Why? Because Western powers, particularly the good US of A and France, because they have extracted resources, they have exploited cheap labor, and they have maintained trade imbalances that has prevented Haiti from thriving. even the earthquake of 2010, which devastated Haiti, became an opportunity for foreign contractors to profit while leaving the Haitian people to suffer. Billions of dollars in aid vanished with little to no impact on Haitian infrastructure or its people. So it's not just a failed state, it's a state that is designed to fail. But here's where it gets even more troubling. Okay? Haitians fleeing this broken system come to the US, come to the countries, come and go to France instead of standing in solidarity with Black Americans fighting against systematic racism and white supremacy. Why is that? They often align themselves with the very oppressors who played a part in their country's destruction. Let's be real. Many Haitians come here and adopt the white power structures narrative. They distance themselves from Black Americans, refusing to acknowledge the shared history of oppression. We see this over and over again. Haitians blame Western powers, rightfully so. They blame America, they blame France, rightfully so, family, for the conditions of their country. But they come here nonetheless. For the condition of their homeland, but when they arrive in the US, they integrate into a system built on the same oppression they fled. They don't unite with Black Americans who are on the front lines fighting for equality and our reparations. Instead, they align with the white power structure, seeking acceptance from a system that would never fully embrace them. And let's not forget, they're not building bridges with the Black Frenchmen either, who have long rebelled against France's oppression. Oh, no. Because here's the kicker. Haitians coming to America, both legally and illegally, haven't been our allies in the struggle for Black liberation. And again, I'm not talking about all Haitians, but there is a significant amount. So instead of reinforcing the fight of our struggle of equality, and even to the point of reparations for foundational Black Americans, they often undermine us, family. They assimilate into the white culture, side with white supremacy, and act as agents reporting back to the oppressors about Black empowerment movements. That's why we always having agents in our midst. That's why you always see these non-foundational Black Americans saying ill will things towards our culture, ill will things towards our equality struggle, everything against Black empowerment. So take a look at the civil rights movement, or even the recent Black Lives Matter movement. How many Haitian voices were loud in solidarity? How many? Because it's a harsh truth. Many are not on our side. Haitians in America often take a stand that benefits them individually rather than reinforcing the collective struggle for Black Americans. And it's not just Haitians, it's Africans as well, it's Caribbeans as well, it's Hispanics as well, it's Indians as well. They tether themselves to our fight for their own handouts, but remain distant when it comes to taking meaningful action in our favor. And if you set up another group in the Black community, where do you think those resources are being divided at? Where do you think those resources are being deflected to? I want you guys to think about it. How many Haitians in prominent positions have spoke up for reparations for Black Americans? I'll wait. You won't find many, if any, but you won't find many. Instead, many defend the very system that oppressed us, the very same system that oppressed them in their own country, hoping to carve out a space for themselves in our country and at our expense. We have to recognize this betrayal for what it is. It's a deliberate act to preserve their personal gains rather than contributing to the broader liberation of Black Americans. So, what does this all mean? What does it all mean, family? The Haitian Revolution of 1804 shall have been a beacon of hope of Black liberation worldwide. But the legacy of the Western exploitation by both France and the U.S. has crippled Haiti economically, has crippled Haiti economically and politically. When Haitians flee their homeland, when Haitians flee their homeland, they are seeking refuge in the very nations that oppress them. Ain't that something? You run to your abuser, you run to your oppressor, and then undermine the same people who were standing on the front lines in order for you to be free. After choosing to side with white supremacy rather than joining forces with Black Americans in the fight for justice, we need to call out this disconnect. We need to call out the undermining of our people. We need to recognize the Haitians, not all, the Haitians who undermine our movement for what they are, agents of white supremacy, who sabotage the fight for Black liberation. This isn't just about turning our backs on Haitians as a whole. No, 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 no. This is about holding our own nuts, taking a break from the whole Pan-Africanism movement, which done nothing for foundational Black Americans, and it never has. But this is about holding accountable those who come here and work against us and not with us. Because we know the history, family. We know the history, do we not? Yeah. We know the history. We understand. And I told you guys back in 21, this is one of the people that the Western powers were scared of. This president here, and again, I don't want to butcher the man's name, but he was assassinated. Let me show you something else. And this is coming from history.state.gov, where they're stating here, since 1886, when General Saman completed his first term of office, they have been 12 presidents of Haiti. No, not one of them who has served his full term of 7 years. Of these 12, 4 have been killed and 6 driven for office. And the Western powers would like to tell you that, oh, it was a gang. It was, what was the funny guy's name they had? It was Earthquake or Patty Cake. Some guy over there now controlling Haiti on a ground level, some sort of, they call him a terrorist, but some gang lord supposedly controlling Haiti at this time. But they're saying all these things, but family, out of 12 presidents, 4 have been killed and 6 have been driven out of office. So we're talking about 2 presidents who stepped down. 12, family, they have only had 12 presidents. Okay, they've only had 12 presidents, and out of 12, 4 have been killed and 6 have been driven out of office. That says a lot. That says a whole hell of a lot. Let's go deeper here. Let me see what you guys are saying. I said we have Nadia in the room. We have Crystal Watson, Jesse Paris, B1 Brick City Bulls fan, FBA Strong. I see you, Crystal Watson, Douglas Sullivan, Jermaine Anderson. Thank you for moderating, sir. Thank you for your support. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying here. Let's break this down. FBA is imaginary. Haitians are the blackest people in the West and spend longer time in slavery. FBA is a weak attempt to divide blacks in the West. Don't accept blacks to take FBA serious. Peace. Interesting. And family, anytime when people bring up these non-significant points or statements or arguments that really doesn't mean anything, you know what I do, family? I go, let me stop sharing for a minute so I can put the invite code up. Because my thing is, I always want to give people a voice who may not understand the stance where foundational Black Americans are coming from. So there you go. There you go. If you have something to say, If you have something to say, you can join with that link, either with or without your video. You don't have to show yourself. I don't need to see you. But we would love to hear your stance on the comment that was made. Let me carry on here. Let me carry on. I don't want to get too distracted, family. Let me pop this back up. Give me a second. I'm all over the place. Give me 1 second here, family. All right. There we go. All right. Volvo said, welcome back. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm refreshed. I'm tuned in. I had to take some time off, family. I had to take some time off. All right. Crystal Watson says, how do we stop non-citizens from voting? You stop non-citizens from voting by voting. See, here's a lot of things. Unfortunately, a lot of Black Americans don't vote in the first place. But when we do vote, we just vote with the masses. We just vote for the Democratic Party because they speak to Black people. We know that Republicans really don't speak to Black people, right? They're talking about the economy, they're talking about immigration. But when Democrats, they're like, we're gonna come in here, we're gonna clean up the community, are you gonna do something for Black people? Yeah, we're gonna do something for all people. It's gonna include Black folk too. Family, when you send those people who are running for office, there's one or two things. You pressure them to have a Black agenda, and or you start grooming and nurturing and training and raising up a Black grassroots advocate who's going to put your issues on the ballot as well, who's going to put your issues on the agenda as well. That is what you have to do. And stop voting for people who are going to do nothing for you. My thing is, if you're a Black Republican, just don't vote Republican to vote Republican. If you're a Black Democrat, just don't vote Democrat just to vote Democrat. Vote for the policies that are going to benefit you and your community. That is the answer. All right, let's see what else we got here. Douglas Sullivan says Roland Martin is the number one main Haitian trying to be on the side of his oppressor. Start with Roland Martin. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. Good point. Very good point. Okay. Jesse Burr says facts such as myself. All right, let's move on, family. Let's move on. I'm just going to read. I'm going to try not to do so much reading, but I love to give you guys the context, right? I don't try to get into my rants or rhetoric or my bias. Not too much, right? I give you the facts here on Black Logic. For several years, there have been a significant increase in the number of Haitians arriving in the U.S. irregularly. Many others arrive from Brazil, Chile, and other countries in the Americas, often bringing their children born there, right? They want their children to be born in the U.S., just as well as Hispanics coming up from Mexico, Central America, and South America. They come here pregnant so their children can be citizens, and they use the Obama program, DACA, to tether and anchor themselves inside of the country, right? All of this is due to illegal immigration. That's why I think when Trump was talking about, hey, you're going in, your children are going, people are like, oh, the children. Listen, family, we have to look past that. You have to worry about your children first. It goes on to state where they had migrated earlier and then faced new pressure to move again. U.S. authorities encountered Haitians at the U.S.-Mexican border approximately, let's just go with 54,000 times in fiscal year 2022, and more than 76,000 times in fiscal year 2023. I mean, the numbers are every year 20,000 more. So 2022, 54,000. 2023, 76,000. So from 2019 through 2021, Haitians were the top nationality for migrants crossing the dangerous Darien Gap between Colombia and Panama. And they have remained among the three largest groups in 22 and 23. Additionally, the U.S. Coast Guard interdicted nearly 7,200 Haitians at sea in 22 and 5,100 in the first 11 months of 2023. We've seen those ships come across, these shanty ships. They're barely put together. Unfortunately, a lot of Haitians lost their lives trying to come to America on these, not ship-worthy ship vessels, so on and so forth. But it states here, marking dramatic increases over previous years. That's what we're occurring here, family. A lot of people just thinking it's from Hispanics. Some people just think it's from Indian. We have those reports from last year of those 30,000 some odd Chinese men coming inside the southern border through Mexico, okay, through Mexico. And here's another thing. We know where the illegal immigrants are coming from. They're entering Mexico and exiting Mexico. Family, when I go on vacation, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Mexico or Mexicans. Mexico is a beautiful country. I love the vacation there. It's a beautiful country. I have nothing ill will to say about the country. Very beautiful. You can go to all different sorts of vacation spots in Mexico for fairly reasonable prices. Whether it be Cancun, Puerto Vallarta, Playa del Carmen, Cozumel, Tulum, you name it, Cabo. You can go all over, that country. And believe me, these tourist spots are absolutely immaculate. They're very beautiful, etc. But who you think is allowing illegal immigration in this country? Who do you think is pointing which way America is? So think you come inside the country and what if you don't have a compass? You just know that, okay, I landed in Mexico. I know America is north. How do you think they're maneuvering through the jungle? How do you think they're maneuvering through the streets and through the townships? Okay, and through the towns and cities. How do you think they're maneuvering through that? How do you think they're getting through that unscathed? You have to know that this is being allowed. You have to know that this is being allowed. It stays here through September of 23, 85,000 Haitian parole recipients represented the largest group of beneficiaries of this process. TPS, temporary protected status, which grants temporary work authorization and relief from deportation, has been redesignated and extended for Haitians, covering more than 116,000 Haitian-born individuals as of March of 23. So you've been in a job market, have you not? And you've been on LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, Monster, FlexJobs, USA Jobs, Indeed, all of these job sites. And you're just like, the job market is slow. There's not that many jobs out there. Let me read this again. TPS, which grants temporary work authorization and relief from deportation for people who are illegally in the country. Nearly 731,000 Haitian immigrants residing in the U.S. in 22, the most recent year for which data are available for the U.S. Census Bureau, made up 2% of 46.2 million U.S. immigrants and 16% of the 4.6 million Caribbean immigrants. Compared to all immigrants, Haitians are more likely to be naturalized U.S. citizens, have obtained legal permanent residence, getting their green card, through family-based categories and work and service occupations. They are also less likely to have a college degree and tend to report lower household income. So I want to know if Haitians, Hispanic, what jobs are they getting? I just know that a lot of us, it's very difficult for us to get jobs. Most of us are leaning towards the federal government, state government to get these jobs, but we are seeing significant numbers in illegal immigrants, which we may not know. No one's going to tell their status, but we can tell right here, okay? And this is coming from migrationpolicy.org, of all the jobs that illegal immigrants are getting. They're getting work authorization and they have temporary protective status. So even federal agents can't touch them. This is crazy. And this is what we're talking about, family. The Democrats have allowed illegal immigration in this country. That's what we're talking about. And a lot of people like, well, it don't affect me, so I don't care. That's our brothers and sisters. Yeah, they are brothers and sisters. But if you heard my breakdown, family, a lot of them don't come over here with the mindset of reinforcement, on the mindset, let's support the Black Americans who've done so much for us. No. And a lot of you may not understand what our people have done for Haitians, even before you and I was born. Okay, let's get into it. I was going to go over this, but I want to go here, because a lot of you may not be aware what Frederick Douglass did. It states here that Frederick Douglass was named ambassador to the country of Haiti in 1889. And during that time, he conducted many diplomatic visits and produced numerous speeches on the state of the country. Douglass viewed Haiti as a beacon of hope and freedom for Black Americans. He addressed a crowd at the Haitian Pavilion, and that's the building to the right there, at the World Fair on January 2nd of 1893, okay? And he stated, "We should not forget that the freedom you and I enjoy today is largely due to the brave stand taken by the Black sons of Haiti 90 years ago. Striking for their freedom, they struck for the freedom of every Black man in the world." Basically, Frederick Douglass was paying him respect. He was paying homage, stating that the white power structure in America, the white supremacy in America, looked at that Haiti and was like, we probably need a freedom because we don't want to end up like the Frenchmen in Haiti. It was inspirational, was it not? But this is the respect that Black Americans had for Haitians prior to current day. Let me move on. U.S. occupation in Haiti. Now, we talked about 1994, even further back than that. And let me show you what occurred here. So in 1915, the NAACP, when there was a real organization standing up for real Black people, Lord, who knows what they're just a Democratic shield organization now. But nonetheless, the NAACP sent James Gordon Johnson to Haiti to investigate for 6 weeks. Johnson exposed the abuses he found in a series of articles for the nation, which roused international attention and led to the abatement of the worst exercise. He also briefed Warren G. Harding, the Republican president candidate, who used the issue to defeat Democratic candidate James Cox. Wait a minute. We keep hearing, word of mouth, bad things about Republicans. And family, I'm not a Republican, not a Democrat. I'm just on some Black empowerment shit. That's it. Okay. But again, when I keep reading about things that Republicans have done, okay, they've done significant things, whether it's for power and or position or financial gain, but they've done things for Black folk. Okay. I hate to say it. Don't forget, President Abraham Lincoln was Republican. Don't forget, MLK was Republican prior to the signing of the Civil Rights Act. Okay? Don't believe me, go look it up. It states here that when Harding became president, he ordered a special Senate investigation. The NAACP pressed for the restoration of full Haitian sovereignty. The U.S. finally withdrew from Haiti in 1934. So when Haitians say, what did Black Americans do for us? We fought against oppression, against oppression in 1804. This is what we have done. We have literally stopped our own government from colonizing your country. We have paid homage and respect and honor to your fight and struggle. But for Haitians, not all, to come over here and undermine us and be agents in the game of white supremacy to undermine Black Americans in our own country, and family, again, this is coming from the Library of Congress. I'm not making this shit up, okay? Let's move on. Now, this is coming out of UMass. Trotter Review is coming out of UMass, okay? Haitian Immigrants and Black American Relations. I want to read something down here. Give me a second. Let me see if I can pop this up. Give me a second, okay? This is the article by, I'm just going to say Ms. Remy. I'm bad with names, family, so you're gonna have to excuse me. Okay, let me scroll down to the part I want to get to. Okay, you can go and read this for yourself. I'm at scholarworks.umb.edu. I always show my references in case you guys want to read it for yourself, because I can't read everything. Oh, you only read the parts you wanted to prove your point to. Well, go back and read it. God damn it. All right, Haitian African American Relations. It states here, Haitians face problems with Black Americans because they speak with an accent, and Blacks see them as people who have a lot of money when they see them buying houses in a short time. This leads to conflict. One reason is Blacks are jealous. Haitians are here buying houses and they have 2 or 3 jobs. I'm a doctor, a lawyer, a plumber, an electrician. I have 13 jobs, man. You guys remember in Living Color when they used to do the Jamaicans? Oh, so hilarious. But Black people are saying, how do they do it? They say, I lived like this for three generations. It took us a while to get a house and a car. Haitians want to be accepted as different from Black Americans. All West Indies say they have no segregation in their home. Of course not. But they do have economic separation. Okay, so yeah. All West Indies say they have no segregation in their home. They are better off in their home. They're better off in their home. That's intriguing. So why does everybody keep coming to America? Those policies by the Democrats that are incentivizing people to come here. Like, I know you guys heard these interviews. Nancy Pelosi did an interview. I'm gonna pop that up. You guys need to hear this interview with Nancy Pelosi and Bill Maher? It was one of these reporters, but nonetheless, I'll get to it. Once they enter the country, Haitians are told that the Blacks are lower status. Did you know that they tell Haitians that? Did you know they tell Nigerians that? Did you know they tell South Africans, Kenyans, Ugandans, people from Zimbabwe? They tell all these people that we are of lower status. And instead of joining with us, talking with us, conversing with us, bonding with us, they believe this bull, okay? But somehow we don't believe everything our government shows and tells us about them, because we understand what occurred many years ago that's still in some form or fashion occurring today, okay? So they do not get close to us. They like to stick to white side, and they want white people approval and evaluate things from the white view. They want to get the white respect and not the Black respect. They are brainwashed. And it goes on and on, family. It states here, these quotes from a Haitian immigrant and a Black American respectively exemplify some of the attitudes and stereotypes held by many Black Americans and Haitian immigrants towards each other, and which may have negatively impacted the nature of their relationship. While most Haitian immigrants have a tendency to view Black Americans as rude, ill-mannered, unambitious, and rejecting of Caribbean Blacks, some Black Americans tend to perceive Haitians as condescending foreign Blacks who have behaved as if their culture, level of education, and manners are superior to those of Black Americans. Okay? So we have somebody in the backdrop. I'm gonna bring them up. Here we go.
What's up? What's up? Mic check. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's on your mind, brother?
Nothing much. I just see this consistent rhetoric about other Afro-descendant people. I don't like to use the term Black because most of the world does not use these color terms. This is a world of countries, nations, histories. I would even say tribes and cultures, even bloodlines. But there's a lot of now it's the Haitians, but there's this thing against other Afro-descendant people of other countries, quote unquote immigrants. I don't know why is there so much like quote unquote hatred or backlash towards all other groups. Coming specifically from Americans, I don't see it coming from other groups of people.
What country are most people coming from?
No. I'm saying this rhetoric against other Afro-descendant people from other countries is only coming from Americans. I don't see other groups of people doing it.
What country are these other groups of, as you would say, Afro-descendant people are coming to?
Coming from, you mean?
Well, no. What country are they coming to?
United States.
Right. That answers your question, does it not?
No, because I don't see other Americans.
So where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm American.
Where are you from?
United States.
So you're a foundational Black American?
No,
Again, okay, where's your family from?
my family's from the islands, from Barbados,
Barbados. Okay. So why do
and
you
and
think
and
why do
uh,
you
and, and Guyana. Go ahead, go ahead.
in Guyana, why do you think Black Americans have smoke for other immigrant groups?
I mean, it's not that I think. Is that I mean I see it on like in this channel, other channels, a bunch of different channels. I don't
What do you see
really. I've
this
been
channel?
around all kinds of. Because I grew up in New York. I've been around every kind of group. They even have the Labor Day parade where all the different people from all these cultures come and celebrate it. But I don't see this rhetoric coming from other, not just even Caribbeans, Africans, for example. I don't see them with this rhetoric.
What rhetoric are you referring to?
Um, well, saying like, oh, they don't like Americans. They hate them. What can I start? What can I start?
Well, hold on. You made a claim. You said rhetoric from this channel. Tell me what rhetoric have you heard from this channel?
Well, not just yours, but recently, I only watched like 20, 30 seconds, a minute. Let's see, where can I start? That they are told, I think you specifically were talking about Haitians. You said that they are told to don't hang around with blacks, that the Haitians try to be around white people and go towards whiteness. I don't think that's true.
You don't think it's true, but I was reading an article. So again, my question to you is, what rhetoric from this channel have
I
you
just
heard
gave
that?
you I just gave you an example that Haitians
And I
try to
just
go
told you
around
that
white
I told
people.
you that this was an article that I was reading.
But anybody could write an article. Where's it from?
Lord, where's the article from?
Yeah, anybody could write an
Here you
article,
go.
literally.
You want to see the article? I'll give you the article. You can go reference it from was it UMass? I think I popped it now. I was researching that, but the article is from UMass. I can pop that back up for you. You want to see where the article's from? So
Nice. I mean, go
let me
ahead.
ask you this question: why did your family leave a beautiful place like Barbados to come to America?
Like many immigrants do, even white immigrants, right?
Mhm.
Because white people are native to the United States, obviously, right? So even they came here a while ago.
Okay, so again, I'm asking
Opportunities, and they
you,
still go
what
back.
about
Still live
again?
there.
I'm asking you why your family came to America.
Opportunities, and we still
Opportunity.
go.
So there's no opportunities in Barbados.
Not saying there's no opportunities, but that's how the world works, brother. Like people do business globally. People go here, go there, do
Mhm.
business here, do business there. That's how the world works. Yeah.
So your family are business people. They go back and forth to Barbados. They don't just have a residency in America where they stay majority of the time in America. They stay majority of the time in Barbados, right?
No, no. I'm saying
No. Why?
opportunities. People travel for opportunity. All groups do that. All groups.
Okay, you keep saying travel for opportunity. There's many people who conduct business, even like myself, around the world, but you don't see me living in another country. You see me living in the country from which I was born, from which my family was born. We're talking about thousands of years, generations on back. So again, if
You've been here
people
for
are
thousands of years.
hold on. If people are traveling around the world for business and different opportunities and don't return to their homeland, that is a form of fleeing because you cannot make it in your homeland, correct?
That's not fleeing.
So what it is, because you're not going back to your homeland.
No, we still do. We ain't all leave permanently
You
forever. We're never going back.
you
The
take the
the the, the
American
difference
dollar,
is that
you take the American dollar and you vacation and see family members in Barbados, those who couldn't flee as though you and your family did. So again, tell me
it's not
how
fleeing.
there's
That's not fleeing.
no, tell me how there's no opportunities in Barbados. Because then
There's
you're telling me there's no
opportunities
rich people.
there
Are there
to
rich
come
people
to
in Barbados?
America. To come to America is not fleeing. All kinds of people come to America too. Like that's not
We're
fleeing. That's
talking
not
about
running
you.
away.
we're talking about you and your family, sir. So again, are there rich people in Barbados?
Yeah.
So again, there must be opportunities because there's rich people in Barbados, correct?
What is your point? Because at the end of the day, people move to America of all kinds for more than one reason, and that's very normal.
Why didn't
That's
you move to
normal.
Mexico?
Well, because we did it. Because we moved to America and we speak English. That's one. That's one right there.
I see the conversation. Your level of intellect and information has stopped because
No,
you keep trying to deflect. You keep
it's
trying to
saying,
deflect.
what is your point? What are
I'm
you saying?
asking
We
you a
people
straightforward
should not
question.
come to America. What are you saying? People
I'm
fleeing because they
asking
come
you
to
straightforward
America.
questions. Just answer the question.
Why did I go to Mexico?
Yeah, why didn't you go to Mexico?
Because we did it. We came to America. This is a better. We thought about it. We thought, okay, America's probably the best option. Just like when you make a decision, you evaluate it. You say this is best, this is second best, so on and so forth. So we took what was possibly the best, like everyone does. Everyone
Why do you think America is the best?
for in the way we evaluated it.
Sure.
Well, it is the either first or second biggest economy in the world. They speak
Mhm.
English already. That's a plus. There
Right.
is
Because
a
Barbados was
large.
colonized by who?
I'm sorry,
Barbados was colonized by who?
but by the British. That's why we
By
speak
the
English.
British.
That's why I say English. They speak English in America. That's one.
Why didn't your
Um,
family flee to Great Britain or the UK?
some of them did actually. Some of them
Some of
did.
them did, but your family
Yep.
came here, right?
Yeah. Okay. So can I finish explaining? So
By
one
all means,
English.
sir.
They
By all
they
means, go ahead.
they speak
Go ahead.
English. There's already a large population of West Indians in New York. Things like that.
So let me ask you a question. Why is Barbados in the condition that it is, where there's limited opportunities, where people have to flee from their country and go to the Western powers? Why is that?
They don't flee, and I don't say there's limited opportunity. And I repeat to you, like I already told you, this is a global world. People don't just stay in one place. There is global trade. People move from one place to another,
Mhm.
whether they live there for a year, 10 years, 20 years, start a family there. That is the normal way of the world and how things work, bro. Like,
Okay.
if you want to
So
work for
I
tech, for
do.
example, if you want to be a techie or work for tech companies, there's a big tech thing going on in Silicon Valley. You may want to move to California, or California is going to shit, and they decided the companies to move to other states,
It's still the U.S.,
so on
sir.
and so forth. And even that, they still also take parts of their businesses to other countries as well.
So again, maybe you're not understanding me.
No, I understand perfectly. I answered your
So
question.
okay, hold on then, sir. Hold on. My question to you then is, if people are moving around the world for opportunities, why is it that majority of foundational Black Americans stay right here in America? Why is that?
That is something you should answer, because I'm not you.
So you know why your family free from Barbados, but
We're
because
not
of
fleeing, sir. We're not.
opportunities
We're
and
not. We're not
business,
fleeing.
but
We didn't
you
flee,
don't know why Black Americans, because you just spoke for the
and that's
entire
the thing
world.
I
But when I
hear.
asked,
That's it. That's
hold
the
on
thing I
now,
hear.
hold on. I had to mute you because we're not gonna do the over talking here. We're gonna have some sort of decorum, okay? I'm gonna say some things. I'm gonna wait. I've been very respectful, so just give me a second here. So you spoke for the whole world, and you stated that people move around the world for different opportunities and business and this, that, and the other. And I stated that, well, Black Americans majority stay in America. And then you say that's a question I should ask. Why are you deflecting? You just spoke for the whole world. Go ahead.
You said, "Oh, listen." You said, "Why do you Black Americans stay in America?" You asking me why would a Black American stay in America? That's the question you should answer. Now, when I speak about world trade, global trade, that answers itself. What is global trade? Trading through the world globally, business. Uh, that's obvious, right? When you say, why do Black Americans stay in America? I mean, let's use common sense. So you're telling me why your people would stay in America. That's a question you should answer. That's
Well,
self-explanatory.
you just said while the world moves around, why can't you speak for one particular group if you just spoke about the
Do you know?
world?
Okay, okay. Let me. Do you know what global trade? You know what global trade is?
You know what?
For example,
Truth be
I got
told,
you.
hold on.
For
You asked me a
example, no,
question.
no, I,
You
I
asked me a
answered all
question.
your
Hold
questions.
on.
I answered all
You
your
asked me a
questions,
question.
and I
Hold on, sir. Hold on. Don't disrespect the host here. You asked me, do I know what global trade is? I have no idea what global trade is because we're speaking about you from Barbados and your family, and you're talking about global trade. So
I
is
think
your
you're
family
hurt.
trade?
I
Hold
think
on.
I think you're hurt.
Is your family trading? That's the question.
I think you're hurt, and you're hurt that other people have cultures,
I'm
history,
hurt.
nationalities of their own, and that people actually come to America and take advantage of opportunities and do things. And you're mad
Right,
that you might be American,
right,
but you don't really feel American. You don't really feel like this is
right,
like
right.
your own
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you're mad at immigrants and other
I'm
people
mad at
from the world
immigrants. I'm
because they
mad at
actually
immigrants.
have they have
So
they
you've
have
been
the
here. He family. He stated that he was here for 30 seconds before he decided to come up and
and I've
comment.
answered all
And
your
he
questions.
thinks that
But
I'm
you're
mad.
mad and you're bitter that people have
Hold
their
on,
own
hold
thing.
on. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. If you want to come back up, but we're not gonna talk all the hosts while I'm trying to give you an explanation. Again, we're gonna have decorum, or you gotta get the hell out of here. But nonetheless, he thinks I'm mad because I'm asking him the hard questions. Because here's the thing: who created the opportunities? Who fought for the opportunities for immigrants like yourself and your family to come over here and to take advantage of the opportunities? Black Americans. So no one is mad. If you was here more than 20 or 30 seconds, you will understand I gave honor and homage to those Haitians who fought up for their liberation and rebelled against the Frenchmen and killed everybody on the island in 1804. But see, that's what happens when you have these tether groups that come inside of Black American spaces. They just want to come in and start talking and don't know even what the hell is coming on. They don't know how to read the room. They don't even see the room, family. They are the ones who are butthurt because we are calling them out and we are delineating from them. This is what this is about. Because here's the question I was really trying to ask him. Did your family come over here and join forces with Foundational Black Americans and say, we're going to stand toe to toe with you and fight for equality and fight for justice and fight for the right so you guys can get the reparations that you guys deserve? Because if you notice, anytime people do anything for Black Americans, we're always the ones who are reciprocating the same action and energy to those people. And matter of fact, we are always the initiators. We never get the same reinforcement as these other groups. These are the groups who are butthurt. And he was trying to really deflect and use some bullshit reverse psychology, talking about you guys are mad. You guys are no. We're not mad. We're just woke now. We're just awakened of the bull crap that all these other groups have coming over here and has undermined us. And we know the government has allowed it, okay? Because you keep talking about opportunities. And this goes for all these other groups as well. And again, I'm not talking about all people. I'm talking about the tether class. I'm talking about the gentleman who was just on the phone with me, where his family is from Barbados, talking they came over here for opportunity. People move around because of opportunity. And do you know about world trade? That has nothing. Your family is not in world trade. They're not like they're living high off the hog in Barbados and then coming over for America for business. No, they came to America and stayed in America. And that's why you are in America. You're an anchor baby. It's what it is. That's the truth of the matter. And see, anytime you don't have decorum, anytime you don't let the host talk, you know that you are more upset and irritated at the fact that I'm calling it what it is. You are a fleer, and that's fine. We understand. We have millions of fleers in America. The only difference is Foundational Black Americans are delineating. We're not being divisive, but we will call you out on that BS each and every time. Don't play here, sir. We're not upset. We're passionate. Don't get being upset and passionate differently and or wrong, because it's not. Let me move on. I wanted to pop up that video, family, with Nancy Pelosi. Give me 1 second, because I wanted you guys to hear. I wanted you guys to hear what she was saying. Let me see if I can find that. I probably passed it. Give me 1 second. Nancy Pelosi. And family, if anybody else want to join, the link is in the chat. Okay, the link is in the chat. Let me see if I can find this Nancy Pelosi. Where's she at? Nancy Pelosi. I think it was Bill Maher. Give me 1 second, family. I'm trying to pop this up. Let me see. My computer is running like molasses. The truth says, what is delineating? It's called Google. Google. We're not doing that, family. We're not gonna be playing games here. The truth said, you mad, you can't call America your home. America is my home. You know what? I knew I was gonna get some trolls. I was ready for it. I was ready for it, family. Lord. Let's see. Quincy Jones moved to France years ago. I don't know where he's at now. He encouraged Ray Charles to move there too. Okay, I don't know what that means. That's why I said majority of Black Americans stay in America. That's what I said. But again, I know what I was going to get. Okay, he says, Black says he's crazy. We only fight and make his country good. Okay. All right, so let me move to this Nancy Pelosi so you guys can look at this very quickly.
There's a lot of moving stuff in your book about an issue that we've all read about, and it has to do with.
Hold on, family. I'm trying to get the part where she's talking about the housing of illegal immigrants. So bear with me. I'm gonna cut off a couple of things here, see if I can get this popping. My internet is acting like I'm out of the country, so bear with me. Bear with me here, family. Let me see. Let me get this pop back up. Let's see. Chris Ola says big scheme. I'm really trying to just get to the part with the housing. Okay. Because Bill Maher asked her about giving housing to illegal immigrants, and she said that all people should have housing. So again, I wanted to reinforce that this rhetoric is coming from, these initiatives are coming from the Democratic Party. Okay. Let's see here. Let me see. Give me 1 second, family. I'm gonna try one more time to see if I can pop this up. All right, let me see if this is it. Let's see if this is it, family. Let's see if we can get this going. My internet is acting very, very slow. But I'm also going to give you the voice of the people on this. The voice of the people. I got some clips loaded up for you guys. And I'm also going to read your comments. And I told you, if anybody wants to join, that join link is in the chat. Okay.
Literally having physical fear for what you do. And you're amazingly strong about it. I mean, you've obviously had that horrible break-in your house, and your husband attacked. They tried to get you on January 6th. There was a lot of, where's Nancy? And people are now going to jail for it. It was on that level. And I just would like to say to the people who and I hear it all the time, who talk about, oh, we're moving toward civil war. Well, in a way, we're kind of already there. You know, when people are literally fearing physically for themselves. Do you still fear physically?
Well, let me just say, I signed up for.
Okay, family, that is not the clip. Of course, I had the clip up here earlier. I could not find the clip at all, so I won't stay here too long. I'm gonna move right along here. I'm reading some of your comments. Let's see. Elizabeth Wife said, "Look it up." Indeed. Okay. The Truth said, "There is no such thing as FBA." All right. Okay. Sure. Excellent program, Black Dog. Keep speaking the truth about power. Thank you, Spice of Life. I appreciate that. Child of y'all says, "No, they work against us." Indeed. I would never leave America. It's my home. I went to Guatemala once representing the Catholic Church. Never again. Family, I'm telling you, I'm like authority. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Because family, when we go outside of America, even to some of these black nations, we're treated worse than we've ever been treated in America. So that's what a lot of people don't understand. I've traveled around the world, and we're not the only way you are treated better if you come with the bag. If you come with money, then they're treating you like a white person. They actually call black people. It was in Ghana, and we was asking our driver what they was calling us. They were calling us white people with money. Really, he said they're calling you white because you have money and you're American. I was like, huh? We're black. So you have to be real careful of how some of these tethers, some of these anchor babies, some of these very divisive people come in our spaces to deflect the movement, right? They don't bring no substance. They're not reinforcement. They're not our support group. And again, I'm not speaking about all Haitians, all people from Barbados, all people from Jamaica. I'm not speaking about all Nigerians. I'm not speaking about all Kenyans, all Africans, all Asians. Doesn't matter. But we do have groups who are sent and put in strategic places to undermine us. Okay. Elizabeth Wife also states, when I started working with Africans in FBA, I recognized the difference between the two. It's evident. Indeed, it is. And a lot of you know what? I'm gonna move to the clips, family. I'm gonna move to the clips. I'm not gonna even get off because I want you guys to hear some of this, and hopefully my snail internet will suffice. Here we go.
Now, let's have a conversation about race. Is there a beef in between black people and black people from other countries? I'm bringing this up because I watched this video about how these black kids in Elizabeth, Florida were attacking these Haitian girls. And they were black boys specifically who were beating up and punching Haitian girls. And then when I did a little bit more research, I found out that in Florida, they used to have a thing where it was called Haitian Day, where the black kids would go out, the black American kids would go out of the way to attack Haitian kids. Now, for those who don't know why this is significant, it's because Haitians are the same goddamn color as me, which my grandmother on my dad's side is Haitian, so that might be why. But the point is, they're the same damn color as me. They're clearly black. Some would say blacker than us. And there's little micro racism in between warring minorities. This ain't nothing new. You see this sometimes with the Mexicanos and the Hondureños. You see sometimes with the Guatemaltecos and los Mexicanos también, con los Dominicanos haitianos también. But
I mean, I caught it. The reason why he's making this is because he's half Haitian. And as you can tell, I don't know if you saw this family right here. As a black American, this is my first time hearing this. You and me both. You and me both. But I'm going to keep on, family.
But black immigrants didn't want to talk to us. They stayed to themselves.
Yes, I know I'm being childish, but I'm actually really tired of this conversation. I've already said several times that all you got to do is research Haitians versus African Americans. It's all online, but you guys want it coming out of my mouth? I'm going to say it. African Americans terrorized specifically Haitians in Miami. I knew it also happened in Boston and New York and stuff like that, but I'm from Miami. And no, this was not just bullying. It was more than bullying. Going back to the sentiments of we didn't talk to you, the ones like myself that did speak English by middle school. This even happened to the Jamaicans, the Bahamians, the Turks Islanders. because, you know, they speak English, but they speak English with an accent. As soon as we start speaking in class, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? Oh, that's what you sound like. It needs to happen all day, every day. It was so repetitive. I went through legit 4 middle schools because I was not having that shit. I wasn't having it with the
family. What I'm realizing is that a lot of non-Black Americans have vitriol for foundational Black Americans because of their childhood in America. I want you to think about that. Because of their childhood, children, they don't understand Black American culture. See, that's the thing no one is talking about. Black Americans, we have a culture of ragging. We have a culture of joning. We have a culture of doing the dozens, where we talk about everybody. And you keep hearing them when they were young kids. I was in middle school. Yes, I was talked about because I was dark skinned. I was talked about, they was like, man, you look like 1 minute after midnight. That's who we are. It's part of our culture. We did it for fun. And what they don't understand is when we used to rag on each other, when we used to joan on each other, it was a competition. And the other kids was the audience. We were trying to see who can get the biggest laughs. Now, granted, we're kids. Sometimes it ended up in fights. That's just what it is. But if you know this, a lot of these immigrants are talking about kids. Talk to me when you was an adult where Black Americans were treating you this way. Talk to me. Talk about the immigrants from Turks and Caicos. Talk to me about those from Trinidad and Tobago. Talk to me about the ones in Jamaica. Talk to me about the ones from Haiti. Talk to me about the ones from the Dominican Republic. Talk to me when they were adults. How was Black Americans treating you? Because I went to Cardozo Senior High School in Washington, D.C., which was a multicultural school that was majority Black, that had Hispanics, Ethiopians, Jamaicans. I don't hear none of them saying that because we didn't do those things. So again, I don't know if some of this is true. Probably is. Okay, probably is. But you're talking about children. Their brains are not even developed. What they said, the human brain is not developed until you're like 25 or something. What? That's what I want you guys to understand. They're using these nonsensical arguments to justify that Black Americans was a certain way. Did they ever say that, you know what? Black Americans were talking about other Black Americans too. We talked about fat people. We talked about too skinny people. If you came with dirty clothes, you came with ragged clothes. If you was too dark, if you was too light, that's just part of the culture. It's not that we're proud of the culture, but that's part of the culture. Until this day, being a grown-ass man, being past the age of 30, guess what people do? We still rag on each other. It's part of our culture. And you came into a culture that you don't understand, and now you're butthurt. So let me go ahead and give her a piece of my mind. Lord, I can only imagine what the kids were saying about you.
I'm not upset with y'all because I know you're mentally ill, which is why one day I'm going to open up a hospital for mentally ill Africans. I'm going to hospitalize you coons because I care about you and I love you. You're part of. I'm not upset with y'all because I know you're mentally ill, which is why one day I'm going to open up a hospital for mentally ill Africans. I'm going to hospitalize you coons because I care about you and I love you. You're part of. I'm not.
You know, is one thing that I want to point out, family. Is one thing that I want to point out in one of the comments here. It says Black Americans were supposed to take over this country like Haiti did. Wouldn't be in all these cops killing Black folk. I mean, family, be weary of the tether class of a lot of these immigrant groups. Be very weary, be very aware. Now, first and foremost, the reason why the Haitians and the indigenous people of Haiti could rebel against the Frenchmen is because the Frenchmen, for one thing, was outnumbered, right? They had advanced weaponry, but they were outnumbered. If I can recall the history, I think it was either 3-1 or 5-1 ratio. And this guy here, James 0305, okay, and I'll blow this up again for you guys, right here, talking about that we're supposed to take over the country like Haiti did. How? We're outnumbered. What are you talking about? When the Haitians took back their country, they were the majority, and they were using guerrilla warfare. What are you talking about? The white supremacy class put majority of the Native Americans on reservations so they know where they're at all times. And then we're talking about, let's go back to 1526. We didn't know the land as good as the Native Americans. What are you talking about? See, this is what I'm talking about, family. So you have to call these people out on the lunacy that they're talking about. I'm gonna show you. Let me show you two more clips.
They was talking about how Black Americans, they got it, they got it harder than us. I guess we get loans or shit. I just want to know, like, how was it coming up? Like I want to know how different it was from us and how similar it was.
Right, for Black Americans.
From the comments, from what the comments were saying, they was acting like shit. Like, I know it's a whole different world, right, but it's like, bro, they got it 10 times worse.
Man, ain't no different. Bitch, we grew up in this fucking.
That's what I'm saying. You feel me? You could have just. They was talking about how Black Americans, they got it, they got it harder than us. I guess we get loans or shit.
So here's the issue, family. We're talking about different dynamics throughout different countries. So if we are at the economic floor in our country and you got the majority in your country and you have the power and right to change the economic status of most of your people in your country, where the white power structure is in charge of the power in America, I have to give people like political science classes to understand the dynamics of politics as well as economics. What a lot of these immigrants say, oh, well, in our country, like this guy here says, Black Americans never really, let me blow that up for you guys. Black Americans never seen the bottom. Immigrants come from countries that you see on TV saying 10 cents a day, we feed Billy for a week. Okay, that is your dynamic, but it's your country. The countries in the Caribbean, the African countries, is your country. And the only thing you're going to tell us is the government. Then if you look at the history of Black Americans, our ancestors and our current day riders have fought and died for us to be at the status that we are now. The problem is those warriors from Haiti of 1804, we're their descendants. We're the warriors today, where they're going to change the country, where they're going to eradicate white supremacy from their country and start building their country from the ground up. Where's that at? We're the warrior class. You control your own country. You're the majority. When you go to South Africa, 8% control the other 92%, and the 8% is mostly white and Indian. And I'm not speaking down on my South African brothers and sisters. I'm not stating that. But we have to understand the dynamics of things. We have to understand the construction of countries and government. How are you 92% of the country? How are you 95% of the country and cannot take control of your government and not take control? And you keep saying, oh, it's the government, it's government, it's government. You outnumber the military as a citizen. You outnumber the government official as a citizen. So tell me, is anyone willing to fight and die for the cause? Because we have many of people, thousands of people who fought and died for Black Americans to have the limited freedoms we have now. Now, granted, we have a lot of freedoms. And as people say, they come here for opportunities. We had to create our own opportunities. So if we had to create our own opportunities in the country that we built, then why can't you do it for the country that you own? The country that you are the majority of? Oh, well, it's corruption in the government and the government. The government is selling out the people. Lord. One more, family. One more.
I don't like to bring nationalities into play, but sometimes it needs to be brought into play. And take it how you want. Do what you will with what I gotta say. But why is it always these? And there is no nice way to say it. There is no better way to say it. I have to call you what it is because that's just what you is. Like, I'm black, I'm African American. But why is it always the Haitians so nasty and rude? Like, bitch, you over here in my domain. Why are you being rude to the Americans? That y'all be acting like, bitch, we stink. We ugh. Like, I don't get it. For the girl at Walmart, the girl that Publix with her talking something, say please for a cookie. She might be glad I went over there, and then she didn't want me to go over there. Like, my child was like, "Can I have a cookie, please?" And I guess they talking some say please, girl. What's I had to take the
I mean, I'm reading the comments again, family. I want you guys to look to the right. From a Jamaican woman, I'ma tell you, Black Americans, this again. The hate for Black foreigners is rooted in jealousy. If Black Americans stop giving it light and ignore them, it'll burn them even more. Please learn, recognize resentment. Okay, so I'm gonna end on this, family. To my tether class, to my non-rider class, and again, I'm not speaking to all immigrants. I'm just talking to the tether class that's going to get butt hurt. Can you please tell Black Americans why we are jealous of you? You fled your country to come to a country where we have created opportunities, where we have built the country from the ground up, where we have, and I showed you with Frederick Douglass and other people have fought for other groups for their freedoms in their own countries, just like we did in Haiti, just like we did in South Africa, just like we did in Ghana. We've actually helped and fought for the liberation of the colonial powers who was in charge of your infrastructure, your economic, all those things. They was in charge, and we fought and we spoke out, and we went to the IMF and we went to the international powers so they can free you from colonialism. How are we jealous of you where you have fled your country to come to our country to benefit off the opportunities that we have created? If anything, we love you, but from a distance, because we understand there's so much divisiveness that you guys believe that we are jealous. No. We understand with the government, isn't this a cliche? The government is allowing, but we stand up to our government. We call these things out, and things change, but it takes some time. But these things change over time because we continue to fight for equality. We continue to fight from which is ours is reparations. You guys speak about reparations. I'm talking about the tether class of the immigrants. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're not one of these people who speak out against Black Americans, who coming over here for the opportunities and you just minding your own business, this doesn't go to you. If you're a rider and you in cahoots, you in partnership with Black Americans, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about those divisive tethers that get butthurt because we are delineating from a class of people from other countries that have been sent here and are here, that has been undermining us and are talking against what is owed to us by this country. We understand that majority of the Caribbean, with the exception of Haiti and Dominican Republic, most of you guys have been colonized by the English, and that's where your reparations lies. When it comes to Haiti, France. When it comes to Dominican Republic, Spain. These are the people that you guys should be talking to, not us. We're not the ones. Okay, so Water says that I'm a delusional fool. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna put this link up in the chat, Water, if you want to come up and speak your piece or speak your rhetoric, or you want to be divisive and use ad hominems. Come on in. I'll put the link in the chat. I got time today. Usually I'm out here in 30 minutes to an hour But if you notice, family, I'm overtime. Go ahead. No, the link is in the chat, Water. Yeah. The link is in the chat. You don't got to keep topping in the chat. No, you much bigger than that, Water. Come on in. Come on in. Come join it. I'm gonna allow you to speak. You don't have to use your video. Just click that little link right there. Click that little link. Water, click the link. Come on in. I want you to. I'm begging you. Come on in. Water, come on in. Water, come on in. Lord. MD Williams says, step up, son. Yeah, step up. D. Foster said, what Haitians bankers in America? David Douglas, a lot of those tethers need to go back home to the dirt. They're lucky they even over here is because of foundational Black Americans, that they are here because they're nothing but cowards. And if Water knew anything about the IMF, then you will understand the little rant I went on and how important the IMF to other groups. But I digress. I understand, the educational system, Again, this is only to the tether class. So my riders, my brothers on code, will you be from Haiti, Nigeria, the African diaspora? Not talking about you guys. Only these divisive tether people over here. But they won't. Water, stop typing in the chat. Come on in. I sent the link in the chat. I'm talking in my country accent. Come on in, Water. Got many to say on this chat. See, that's the thing about these virtual barriers. That's why I entice people to come and talk to me. Let's have a conversation. I'm not above it. I want to have a conversation. I'll allow you to speak your piece. Okay? But don't hide behind the virtual barriers, Water. The link is in the chat. Do I need to put another link in there? Did I put one in there, family? Do I need to put another link? Let me put another link in there. Let me put the link in there. Maybe I didn't get it. Water says, sounds like a white person. I sure does. Is it sure do? Is it sure does? I sure does sound like a white person. Come on in, Water. I know you want to come up. You tempted. Just do it. Just click that button. Water, just click that button and I'll let you speak your piece. Come on in. Water, Nationality and Immigration Act. Water, educate me. Educate me. I'm here waiting. The family is waiting for you to come on in. I told you, family, I'm refreshed off my vacation. I'm refreshed. I'm ready. Well, oh my God. See, this was the tether. Let me pop this on the screen. I'm chilling. I don't argue with fools. It's in the Bible. Listen, at the end of the day, family, this is why you can't let tethers get on your nerves, because they're cowards. The tether class are cowards. You see what I'm talking about? You say all that mess in the chat room, but when you ask to step up, you flee. It's in your DNA. It's in your DNA. You'll flee her. It's cool. But anyway, family, that's all I got for you guys tonight. But I had to prove a point. I knew he won't come up, punk ass. But anyway, you guys have a good one. Be one.